Okay guys, in my opinion this has to be the most pointless, shitty, boring peripheral ever made. Now this, guys, you probably already guessed it, freaking blows my mind. What's happening guys, Gemma here and happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I wanted to put out some content that kind of takes us away from games within that gaming framework. But today I want to talk about some of the really cool gaming peripherals that I've got. Now what I want in response is I want you to tell me if there are any that I'm missing that I need to get, particularly around kind of joysticks, and I want you to maybe tweet me, share on my Facebook group, maybe some of your peripherals from your collection. Always love to kind of have nosy at what other people collect. Now, quite a bit of stuff to show you, so hopefully you guys can stick around. And this is some really cool stuff at my feet here, guys. So without further ado, let's take a look. So first thing, guys, I want to talk to you about are some of the joysticks that I have. We're going to start off with the Super Advantage stick. Now, this is box complete, as you can see, but it's really nice condition box. So from a collector point of view, I think this is something that's kind of one of the more poignant pieces. Functionality-wise, it's great. I'm kind of guilty of not using the additional kind of turbo features, the slow motion features. It seems completely redundant to me unless you're on something like, a Street Fighter game where I used to kind of use the slow motion function quite a bit as a kid because I could never master it would just give me more time to pull out moves. But now I kind of use joysticks more to get that arcade experience, and this obviously works on the SNES and the Retron 5, so I use on both, which is really cool. Now what you guys are going to see here as well is another Super NES Scoremaster joystick. This I actually prefer. It looks a little bit more simpler compared to the Super Advantage stick, in terms of its aesthetics. I prefer that kind of design you've got along the bottom there. So sticking with the joysticks then, I'm going to show you this first, and then there's something else that really baffles my mind. It really twists my mind. But first up, guys, got the SEGA Genesis or SEGA Mega Drive arcade stick. Really like this thing. I think it only cost me 12 quid. Box isn't in great condition, and it's pretty simple in terms of its functions. You've got all the basic buttons that a Mega Drive pad would have, but you've got that kind of quick fire trigger at the top. It's called Mega Fire Speed, sorry. Quick fire, whatever. But again, like I said before, as a kid that would have been like, wow, look at all the turbo stuff, look at the slow motion stuff. But it just doesn't bother me now. Like I've said, I much prefer the arcade feel. Now this actually works on my AMIGA 500 Plus, although I've been advised not to use it with the AMIGA because it can blow the motherboard. I believe there's something a little bit dodgy with this, but I'm very guilty of using this on the AMIGA nonetheless. Probably shouldn't. And design wise, it's pretty ugly. I actually think this is really ugly. I always found the SEGA Mega Drive stuff to look pretty bland anyway, just awash with black with trims of white and red. I never knew why they didn't make it more appealing, to look at. Back in the day, in the 90s, especially in the 90s, it was a very vibrant era for gaming, but this is just so bland. It's such a bland piece of kit. And even the box looks pretty bland. But nonetheless, it's nice to get it boxed actually, because I don't see it around that much. And I want to talk about another SEGA joystick next. So let me just pop this down. Now this, guys, you probably already guessed it. Freaking blows my mind. It's the Master System control stick. And it's back to front. So you use your left hand with the buttons and your right hand for the control, the movements, it's backwards. I just don't know why they did it. So please enlighten me. Why did they do that? Why did they think it was a great idea to swap the design around? The control pads aren't like that, and I have no idea why they would have chosen to do this. Now again, it's pretty basic. This is literally, this adds no value in terms of functionality that the controller doesn't have. The pad that doesn't have. This is just a control stick with nothing else to it. There's no slow motion, there's no turbo, there's no quick fire, there's no nothing. But you know what, I think again I snagged it pretty cheap at a car boot. Lucky really, because you don't find anything, well I don't find anything at car boots like this anymore. But yeah, Why did they swap it round? It drives me insane. So I think, you know, from my point of view, the SEGA stuff here, bland in design, bland in overall aesthetics. This baffles my mind. This is just cool, and I love the fact that I can use it on my Amiga. Okay, this rattles like crazy, and it doesn't work on flat screens anyway, and neither does the G-Con2. Now this is pretty beat, let me tell you, this is pretty beat. I'm not even going to get it out. It's that beat. And for this, you know, obviously playing Time Crisis on the PlayStation 1 back in the day, this is a SEGA SATURN gun actually. I just loved these things back in the day. When I first got Time Crisis on the PS1, I thought, that is it now. I'm fucking hardcore. This is amazing. You know, I took it round to my aunties. I was bragging about it in school, which is something I never really did because I kept my gaming habits pretty quiet from people at school. But I just love this shit. I love this shit. You know, the fact that we could play this at home. I wanted to bring more and more arcade feelings to my bedroom as a kid. In the UK, we didn't really have many arcades. You were lucky if you found an arcade machine, you know, in a chippy or in a old miner's welfare. There were a few, but nothing like Americans had. So when this kind of stuff came out, it was like bringing that experience home, you know. And I think this one in particular, I mean, I don't remember, I think this came as part of a bundle, but this I picked up at a car boot, and I think it was a £5, and it's so dusty and it's so beat. I said I wouldn't take it out, but I will. I mean, that's actually pretty sleek compared to this thing. Which one do you prefer, guys? Which one do you prefer? You've got the G-Con2, and I'm very guilty of not remembering the exact name of this. But this feels pretty darn fucking cool. This makes me want to go out and play Overwatch right now, you know. So that's awesome. And you know what, guys? Do you still use these? I know, again, they only work on the CRT TVs. They won't work on flat screens, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if there's a workaround for that or not. But nonetheless, I'll just go all out with these things all day. They're literally just showpieces, unfortunately, because I'm never going to use them, but still cool to have in the collection. Okay, guys. In my opinion, this has to be the most pointless, shitty, boring peripheral ever made. It ain't a Virtual Boy because I don't own it. I never have. I don't care about it actually. But the Super Scope for the SNES is pretty up there, you know. This I first played with my auntie. She got it out of a catalogue as a kid. I was sat on her bed back in the day, and I was kind of thinking, this is yes, you know, one of those yes moments in gaming. And even as a young girl, I was just not feeling this at all. There's 6 games on the cart, kind of your base titles, and they were just all shit, and I could never kind of sync this up properly. I'd kind of think I was shooting there, and the firing and the crossfire thing would fire off there on the screen, and it was just lame, man. It was just lame. Maybe it was just me. I don't know if you guys had better experiences with this, but for me, it was crap. Now, Yoshi Safari is obviously a game use of this as well. Another game that I absolutely think is pretty bland, to be honest, but goes for a fair price. But this is just pure shit. So I'm going to read out what games we got. We got Laser Blaster, Blastrus, Intercept, Blastrus A, Blastrus B, and Confront. Oh wait a minute, Engage as well. It's all a load of shit. Oh, Moon Patrol, absolute shit. But yeah, nonetheless, you know what? Do you know how much this cost me? £5. I ain't gonna complain for £5. So there we go, guys, just a couple of peripherals in the collection. Please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to tweet me some of your peripherals or drop me a Facebook you know, message or whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. My name's Gemma, take care, see you soon.